Welcome to The Rundown. I'm Danielle Tyson. The fall semester began with a 3-week remote period. And then, 3 weeks later, the classrooms on campus began to fill up with students and teachers. Since last semester, Rider University has undergone a number of changes across the campus. Here's Madeline Machiska with the story.
Rider University offers more than 100 majors and minors, with over 35 in the College of Liberal Arts and Science alone. Rider's Department of Communication and Journalism is home to 10 majors ranging from sports media to filmmaking. But now with the new semester comes new changes to the department. Starting this semester, the old Department of Communication and Journalism has split into 2 brand new departments. Students will now have the opportunity to choose majors from the Department of Communication and Journalism or the new Department of Film and Television. The new Department of Communication and Journalism will consist of majors such as graphic design, sports media, journalism, and public relations, to name a few. And the new Department of Film and Television will be dedicated to those who want to focus in filmmaking as well as television production.
The changes to the film department are really beneficial because they offer new and improved courses to help better prepare us students for the jobs and careers that we want coming out of Rider.
Dr. Jay Stern, a film professor and department head, tells us the benefits of the brand new film department.
By having a designated film and television department, we can really concentrate the work that our film students do. We're actually able to expand courses, we're able to really change our curriculum quickly and be much more nimble, and really develop a wide range of courses in production, writing, directing, all the kind of things you need in order to be successful in the industry.
In addition to the new changes, renovations were also made. Last year, we got brand new media labs throughout the halls of fine arts. And this year, an upgraded television studio, better editing suites, and a new equipment closet.
The TV studio itself, the space was expanded, so it'll leave us some room to have some fixed television sets, along with room to produce narrative content.
1077 The Bronx, Rider's own radio station, also got an upgrade, moving from the BLC to the Fine Arts. If you have any questions about the 2 new departments, courses, or your major, be sure to check with your advisor or my Rider. And to see the renovations to our new TV studio, equipment closet, and media labs, be sure to check out the 2nd floor of Fine Arts. My name is Madeline Matichka, reporting with The Rundown.
Rider students are adapting to new safety guidelines when dining on campus. Let's check in with Jen Bongarzone to see who was able to take a look at how these changes are affecting some of our favorite places to eat on campus.
Rider University is one of many schools that has allowed limited students back on campus. This is due to the ongoing pandemic that began way back in March of 2020. There are many precautions that Rider must take to ensure the safety of all students either living on campus or commuting from home. These precautions have changed not only the way Rider holds classes in its academic buildings, but more importantly, how they are serving their food in their various dining areas. Currently, the only dining services available at the moment are Daly's Dining Hall, the SRC, Cranberries, and the Pub, all of which you can access through the Grubhub app students use to order the food they want in a timely manner. The food can either be delivered to your dorm, or most of the time students will pick up their food from their respective places when it's ready. Students can then use the outdoor seating areas provided throughout campus as opposed to the usual indoor seating. Before entering any of the dining areas, students are required to do a few things. First, we need to check in with our Campus Clear app every day to notify the school about any possible COVID symptoms. According to the Rider News, Vice President for Strategic Initiatives and Planning, Debbie Stisola, stated, quote, "The data is organized in such a way that both offices can more easily identify those who are exhibiting symptoms or are otherwise not cleared to come on campus." After showing they've completed the app for the day, the students will have their temperature taken by one of the campus employees. And of course, every student must wear a mask inside any building they wish to enter, especially in these dining areas. A student will not be permitted to get their food if they choose not to adhere to any of these rules.
Also, when you walk into Daly's or Crans, you do have to get your temperature taken. And another thing that you have to follow, there are arrows on the floor, so it's all one-way traffic, so you're never going by anyone at the same time.
Inside these dining areas, there are arrows to guide students which direction they need to go. This helps both staff and students follow the social distancing guidelines that the state requires in order for Rider University to stay open. Although it's a change, some students don't mind these new rules, and it may not affect the Rider dining experience as much as one would think.
All of the options are still there for you. It seems that they're doing a good job with getting orders in and out quickly.
So there's definitely a big difference between how dining was last year and dining was this year, but overall I don't really think it affects the experience. So I don't really think it impacted it too much, but it definitely is a big change and it was something to get used to at the beginning. But being here a month, you kind of fall back into it and it's just a new routine for everyone.
For more updates and information on the safety guidelines for on-campus dining, visit the Rider website at www.rider.edu. This is Jen Bongerzone reporting from The Rundown.
COVID-19 has unfortunately made an impact on many colleges' social atmosphere, and that's no different here at Rider. Field reporter Casey Maldonado took a look at how Rider University's Greek life is adjusting to the change caused by the pandemic.
So I feel like everything has just been reset and changed to make it fit on these virtual platforms.
COVID-19 has unfortunately had an impact on many colleges' social atmosphere. Let's take a look at how Rider University's Greek life is adjusting to the changes. A big part of the college experience at Rider University is the Greek life they have to offer. Approximately 14% of Rider University students are involved in Greek life on Rider's small campus. Some of the events that are usually held by Rider Greek organizations during this time would consist of Sweetheart Weekend, Greek Barbecue, as well as many other philanthropy events. Today I will be talking to Rider University student and sister of Zeta Tau Alpha, Kateris Duran.
Everyone really have to try harder and keep connecting with their sisters and the whole community more because of it being so virtual and everyone's so far away from each other. The event that we already had was Think Pink, really good. We had a ton of people who attended it, and more than I thought that was going to attend. And we still had the same turnout. We had even more money raised, which is crazy. In the door, we're just starting our first semester of it being virtual, so we're kind of working out all the kinks. And I feel like Greek life as a whole has been really good at trying to adapt.
Despite the unfortunate circumstances that university students are facing on their campuses nationally, it looks like the Greek life students at Rider University are doing their best to adapt to the changes. This is Casey Maldonado reporting from the Rider Rundown.
It is no secret that there are significantly less students than normal on campus. The CDC guidelines require dorms to have a limited capacity that is between 50 and 65% of the normal capacity. Reporter Tyler McLean was able to talk to a community director and a community assistant on how their jobs have changed.
It's different if you're an upperclassman and you know what you're coming back to, and things are a little bit different, but you're still used to the community. You have your established social circle and everything. But I just really felt for the freshmen, and I knew how hard my freshman year was without all of these COVID restrictions. Even with a roommate, I still struggled with feeling alone, feeling isolated. And now these people, my freshmen, are physically isolated. They're really just stuck in their room.
Things that make the job personally rewarding and make, working in this department personally rewarding has kind of been removed when you take away a lot of that community building and social aspect of things.
And I only have 16 residents. Which is less than half.
A little below half of what our occupancy could be. And I would estimate, again, I don't have specifics. That's probably about the same campus-wide.
I had the opportunity to be able to speak with Roberta Butler, who is an associate dean of Res Life here at Rider. She said that we are at 40% capacity as far as the dorms go. It's unfortunate that there are less residents and fewer activities to do as a result of the situation at hand. Joshua, Giovanna, and the rest of the CAs wish they can build a community in a COVID-free world. Hopefully, it will be safe for us to interact in a normal manner sometime soon.
During the pandemic, everyone at Rider has been experiencing major changes this semester. This includes club sports. Nicole Bernarda took a look into how this semester is playing out for them.
Since club sports are very contact heavy, there has been many restrictions put on them this semester due to the recent pandemic.
Long and the short of it is, club sports are not permitted to practice, travel, or compete this semester outside of esports.
Many students were very disappointed that they can't participate in their club sports this semester, but it's all in order to keep everyone healthy and safe.
Since our season was canceled, we haven't really been able to come together and get together as a team. So it's been a hard time being away from each other and trying to stay connected and also keep up with workouts and things like that.
Personally, I am a bit upset that Rider Club Sports aren't allowed to participate in any games or practices this semester. I just think it's a bit hard for me to understand how the school and professors will make some of us come in person, but won't allow its students to voluntarily practice in club sports in an outdoor setting.
The club leaders face many challenges into keeping their club active and involved this semester.
Some challenges I have faced during the semester is trying to plan things for everyone to get together, since everyone has such different schedules and are so busy. And since I am treasurer, I deal a lot with t-shirt making and things like that. And with COVID shutting stuff down, we are unable to get the t-shirts for our team.
One of their challenges is, to continue to recruit and retain their members. So it really is up to those club leaders to reach out to those folks and invite them to their virtual meetings and start to get to know them.
As the Club Sports Council continues to have meetings with the club leaders on Zoom, it's also important that the club leaders reach out to their members and have their own club Zooms and virtual events.
So I do think it was very wise, the decision that we made to not participate this semester. But again, I do think that there are some club sports that have embraced that to the best of their ability, and they're doing some great things virtually.
Although I wish that club sports weren't canceled at Rider, I do believe it was a wise decision to refrain its students from participating in any club sports just to keep COVID at a minimum on campus.
I do think it was a good decision to refrain from having any in-person sports as far as club goes. I just don't think we have to take any unnecessary risks just because we are just a club team. We do have fun. That's mainly why we participate.
Hopefully, club sports will be able to compete and play next semester or in the near future. But for now, virtual events and activities will have to do.
The pandemic has really changed the college athletic experience. Seasons were canceled and athletes now have to take many precautions while practicing.
Rider University's athletics have been quite different since returning after the pandemic. Today, we're going to take a look into the changes and new precautions Rider's field hockey team has to take.
So with the pandemic, we are moving into different phases for our training. The first 3 weeks we're in phase 1, and phase 1 is where we separate the team into small little pods and we train in small little training groups so that in case somebody gets infected, it doesn't impact the whole team, which is where it really worked out really well actually. There's been some silver linings to this type of training because the kids are getting a lot of individualized training and instruction from their coaches. So I've seen a lot of growth and progress in our skill work and our team camaraderie as well.
Rider field hockey is still preparing. They've got big shoes to fill. Last season, Rider came second in the NEC and almost made it to the NCAA tournament. Now, the team is just hoping that their spring season will be a success.
This season is definitely not our typical season. It is technically our off season. A lot of things are different. We can't all practice in big groups, so we're in small groups of 4 or 5. It also really sucks because we can't use our locker room, and that's one of our biggest hype ups for practices and games. So hopefully in the spring, things will turn up.
There's definitely an adjustment. Every time we have a meeting, it's always got to be on Zoom. And anytime we come into a team huddle, we always have to wear our masks. Our sophomore class consists of 9 girls, and we're not all allowed to be in the same room. So team bonding is really hard, but we're doing our best.
As a freshman, coming into college is definitely a weird experience. There's never a lot of people on campus, so I haven't really met a lot of people yet outside of my team, but I'm excited to get the normal college experience.
How I feel about not having a season this fall, and obviously I'm not liking it, but I'm trying to see the positive things, and we're working extra hard in the hope we're going to have a spring season.
It is our hope that eventually we can get back to whatever the new normal is going to be, but we work hard every day, stay motivated.
Well, that brings us to the end of this week's show. Please join us again next week for the next edition of The Rundown. I'm Danielle Tyson.